Senator, thanks so much for being here on New Day.
Thank you, Allison.
What do you think came out of this meeting yesterday?
Well, I think this was a positive opportunity for President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu on the world stage to set straight the record. There are many who've suggested that our strong disagreements over the Iran nuclear deal may have permanently frayed the U.S.-Israel relationship, and nothing could be farther from the truth. I think the meeting between Obama and Netanyahu yesterday reinforced our strong, deep, and lasting relationship. It's stronger than any, even an important tactical disagreement. And they got to work on the important business of making sure the Iran deal is fully and forcefully implemented, and of working together to ensure Israel's qualitative military advantage.
I mean, look, you're right. Obviously, Israel is a deep and strong ally of the U.S. However, it's no secret that there have been sort of personal issues between President Obama and Netanyahu. Do you think that somehow relations are improving?
Yes, I think they are. I do think there hasn't been great chemistry between our two national leaders, but the relationships between our defense and intelligence communities and the long and deep relationships between the peoples of our countries, I think will support and sustain the working relationship between Obama and Netanyahu.
Senator, let's talk about our national security. In light of what happened with Russian Metrojet, the crash there is a new look at the 900,000 airport workers. I mean, that number is staggering. Who knew that we had 900,000 airport workers here in the U.S. and their unfettered access to our airplanes? Are you worried that something could happen and sneak on board a U.S. airline, given that there are so many people connected to, as we said, the unfettered access at our airports?
I do think we have to be constantly vigilant. I think we are very fortunate that we haven't had a major terrorist incident that has brought down an American plane in the last decade, and that's not for a lack of trying by those who would do us harm. We are fortunate to have a strong and a robust TSA system, but it's got some challenges, and given what happened in Sharm el-Sheikh, given the Russian plane that was brought down over the Sinai, we need to redouble our efforts. As you know, I've traveled throughout the Middle East and Africa, and in some parts of the world, their security standards aren't the same as ours. We need to redouble our efforts to make sure that the American people understand that the inconvenience and the hassle that we all go through when we get on an airplane is for good reasons, and we have to make sure we have secured the perimeters of our airports, and we've taken a hard second look at everyone who has access to an airplane.
I mean, so you say redouble our efforts. Do you mean here at home you are concerned about an insider threat, or you're concerned about airports in other countries?
I'm much more concerned about airports in other countries. The standards are more lax in some countries around the world, and that would make it easier to get something onto a plane that then ultimately would be in American airspace or might be carrying Americans. I do think generally we do a strong job in the United States, but there's been some recent studies that suggest there's room for improvement. I have confidence in our Homeland Security Secretary and the TSA, but there's always room for improvement. And given the number of folks who work in our airports, given the number of flights every day, I think we have to be concerned and we have to be vigilant.
Senator, let's talk about presidential politics. I know that you were and are a big Joe Biden supporter. You were hoping that he would run, but now that the vice president has decided not to get in the race, have you decided whether or not you will support one of the other Democratic candidates?
I have, and that's right, Allison. I'm a big Joe Biden fan and supporter, and I was hopeful that he would be running for president. I think his voice for our middle class has been unequaled, but I think he's made the right choice for his family. I've had a number of conversations with Hillary Clinton's policy folks, and yesterday I spent some time speaking directly with Secretary Clinton. I got to know her when we traveled together and worked together in my first few years in the Senate, and across a wide range of issues, from college access to manufacturing, from foreign policy to leadership. I'm thrilled to be endorsing her today in her run for president.
Oh, that's good news, Senator. I mean, that is news, I should say. So you are ready to...
That is news. I haven't made an announcement before now. Yes.
Well, thanks for sharing it with New Day. So you are officially endorsing Hillary Clinton. Why not Bernie Sanders?
You know, Bernie, I reached out to Bernie, and I hope to talk with him in person about it today. I think Senator Sanders has conducted himself really well in this campaign. He's got some strong ideas. He's got a great record. And I like Bernie personally. But I just think we need an economic message of optimism and that focuses on growth. as well as one that looks with a clear eye about some of the issues of income inequality that Bernie has raised. There are folks I'm close to in my community and my extended family who are big supporters of Bernie Sanders. But I frankly think that Secretary Clinton will make the stronger president. I have a closer, longer relationship with her, and I'm optimistic that she can win in the general election and lead our country well.
Senator Chris Coons, thanks so much for sharing your endorsement news on New Day. Great to talk to you this morning.
Thank you.